Recessions happen, but here is the good news. The good news is that you can, instead of getting scared and frantic and just really surviving a recession, we can actually thrive through recessions. They do not have to be economic cycles that you are scared of or avoid. They are actually healthy for the economy, but you have to go about it in the right way. You have to be prepared, we have to be proactive, we have to stay educated, and we have to constantly find ways to secure our income. My name is Morgan, and I am a holistic wealth coach. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And I cover anything between the intersection of wealth and wellness. So in today's video, we are going to focus on the aspect of building wealth, but in the anticipation or for the preparation of a recession, and why it is so important to start leading in your financial future and making decisions from a place of confidence and preparedness instead of being reactive and frantic and fearful when economic downturns hit. And I'm going to break down 3 core principles that I usually always follow when it comes to my work, but we are going to associate it with recession-proofing your income. So number 1 is usually working on our mindset, wealth, wellness. In this regard, we have to learn how to shift from a reactive type of mindset to a proactive type of mindset. And then we also would want to educate ourselves. The second pillar for me is wealth strategies. So what are the strategies we can put in place to ensure that you are ready for a recession and you are going to feel comfortable and protected as a recession is happening? And then my third pillar is always focus on wealth creation. So how can we create more wealth? How can we grow our income? How can we start to have multiple income streams? How to have our money work for us, et cetera, et cetera. In relationship to recession-proofing your finances, it's really just going to be just that. How to continue growing your income even within a recession. And if you already didn't know, a lot of businesses actually start within a recession. So a lot of people think, oh, recessions are bad for business start to fail. That's usually the time you might get laid off from your job. But I also want us to understand that recessions can also allow businesses to pivot and is also the place where new businesses are birthed. Before we dive a bit deeper into each of these 3 pillars, I want you to understand the importance of recession-proofing your income, right? Why do you need to recession-proof your income? Why is it so important? Well, if there's one thing that the last few years have taught us, with COVID and so many things changing when it came to our finances and a lot of it being outside of our control, is that the economy can just change at any given time, right? We do not know the future and what it holds for us. You may lose your job. You may have to deal with rising prices, really steep increase in inflation, and just any other unexpected curveballs that will throw your financial security into a loop. And it's no longer enough to just wait it out or deal with it when it happens. We want to make sure that no matter what the economic climate looks like, we are able to thrive and be financially secure. And if you're someone who has always been fearful of the idea of a recession, it is important to sort of tweak the way that you look at recessions and your mindset around it, and shifting from a place of fear to seeing it as a time of opportunity. That, okay, when the next recession comes, I will be in the best position to withstand the economic shifts in my life and to also create those opportunities in those moments to actually make my money work for me even more. So for example, when we think about investing, one of the best philosophical practices or strategies when it comes to investing, especially if you're someone who's investing for the long term, is to actually buy when the market isn't doing well, right? Because those stocks that you're interested in, technically the shares are on sale, right? Whatever it was at prior to a recession, maybe it was going for $50 a share, now it's going for $40 a share. So yes, you may have money already invested in that, and some of your investments, the overall portfolio of that investment has gone down, but you knowing that it's going to go back up again and outperform itself most likely over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, buying it at $40 is actually just buying the stock and the share when it's on sale. So these are ideas and things to look at. Like, there are a lot of opportunities to take advantage of even within a recession. And it doesn't mean that you still can't be making money and you still can't thrive and you still can't have your money work for you. So if you're ready to go from worrying to becoming confident amidst recessions, knowing exactly what to do, creating a customized game plan that's going to work just for you and your specific situation, definitely take a look at my Recession-Proof Your Money guide. It is a quick 3-step guide. It's usually sold for $27. I am willing to discount it for $9 today just for you, just because you checked out my channel and taken the time to get this far into the video, and it will be in the description below. So you definitely would want to take a look at it. It's literally the price of like a coffee or a latte or whatever you treat yourself to drink once in a while at Starbucks or any other coffee shop. So I don't think $9 is really gonna do much damage to your pockets. If anything, you are gonna gain the knowledge and the strategies to get ahead and to be much more ahead than some of your other counterparts and peers and friends and family members. By having this information on deck, please, definitely, it is worth checking out. It's only $9, like I said, and it will help you to take control of your financial future with much more ease and with much more confidence going into the next economic downturn. So, like I said, the first principle or pillar that I want to talk about is the mindset piece of dealing with recessions, right? So we want to shift from being reactive to proactive. So what does that really look like? Definitely want to practice mindful spending. So this is something that you don't just do when a recession hits, right? These are things that you would want to do prior into going into a recession. So getting really clear on what is a need and what is a want, right? Our needs are going to be aligned with our values. They're going to be adding back into our lives. These are investments that we're making in ourselves short term that are really going to benefit us in the long term. If you are spending money on things that aren't really a necessity and aren't really adding value into your life for the long term, we might want to reconsider whether we need to make spending decisions around this particular experience or item, possession, whatever it may be. So mindful spending is going to be at the top list or priority of how you engage with your money and your finances ahead of a recession. Also, we don't want to overlook our savings goals. So we definitely should be saving as much as possible before a recession hits, right? In a recession, you want to have money set aside that you can go into to continue covering some of your basic expenses. So if you don't have an emergency fund right now, 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses, those are some of the things that you should definitely be working on right now, because with the recessions, if you have a 9 to 5, you're more likely to be laid off. You want to have a certain amount of money in your bank account that is going to accommodate the months where you're not going to be able to work, right? How are you going to pay your rent or your mortgage and feed yourself and your family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? These are things we should be thinking before we find ourselves in an economic downturn. And we also want to definitely check on our limiting beliefs. So a lot of people are going to feel like, I'll never make more than I'm making now. Like, every time I try to save and get ahead, like, it just doesn't work. It's never going to happen. This is all just a scam. And start to complain about capitalism and et cetera. And of course, like, even I complain about capitalism. There are definitely things that are broken in the system that need to be fixed, but it still doesn't mean that whether it's capitalism or communism or any other system that you're in, that you would not need to save or you would not need to work to make a living. Like, there's always going to be that concept that we need to work towards something, or we need to work to survive, whether it's for money, whether it's for gold, whether it's for whatever other resource we might find valuable in the future. We need to work towards things. So I want you to challenge these limiting beliefs that are holding you back from getting that new job or applying for that new job that's going to increase your income, or coming up with ideas to start a side hustle or some business that's going to bring in extra income. Overcoming those limiting beliefs around your ability to save and to mindfully spend, and checking in with some of those insecurities that you may have, and overspending in certain areas of your life to fill these insecurities, right? It goes really deep, but you need to set aside the time and the space to reflect as to why you have the relationship that you have with money today, why you make certain decisions that are holding you back, right? Because some of it is outside of our control, yes, but a lot of it is within our control. If you're not happy with your job, go find a better paying job, go back to school, whatever it takes, whatever you need to do in order to work your way up that ladder, quote unquote, whether it's career or just in life, to get you to the place or the point in your life where you want to be. Nothing comes without work and putting in effort. The belief, the intention has to be there. The confidence that you can achieve it is equally as important. And just getting comfortable with opening up yourself to new possibilities. The possibilities are endless. There are multiple different ways to make money. And so if you are someone that isn't able to see the world in that way or see your relationship with money in that way, you might want to take some time to do some work and do some reflection around why and how you can be more optimistic when it comes to your finances. Then the second principle I want to cover today, which is in tandem with my second pillar, which is wealth strategy, is education. Educating yourself is so important. I will never get tired of screaming this on the rooftop. Just how important it is to stay knowledgeable. I believe Aristotle said that ignorance is the closest thing to evil, and I truly agree with that. The less you know, the less informed decisions you are going to make. And of course, we're not gonna be able to know everything. It might be impossible, and that's where reading or talking with friends and family members or people that are maybe smarter than you or know a bit more in a certain area than you, or getting coaching, getting additional support, paying someone to help you better understand what you are doing. These are all ways that you can continue to educate yourself and seek that extra accountability towards some of your financial goals, right? A lot of people don't understand what a recession even is, right? Like, you cannot prepare for a recession if you don't understand what a recession is. Why does it negatively impact my finances? How can it positively impact my finances? Even on a grander scale, like, what is capitalism? How did the system come to exist? These are questions that people don't really bother or care to ask themselves. And this is the reason why you make poor and uninformed decisions when it comes to your money, because you just don't understand what you were doing, right? You don't understand why you have to do what you were doing, or how to get yourself out of the situation that you're in, or find hacks to manipulate the system to work in your favor. No one is going to just share that randomly with you. You have to go out there and seek that information and understand what it is that you are trying to change in your life. Understand the concepts, the frameworks, the foundations of what it looks like to be healthy, to have more money, to find that healthy relationship, to build out that amazing, thriving career. That is always going to be on you. And how are you going to put yourself in front of the people, the spaces, and the information in order to do that and to become more informed? Learning how to invest is going to also be a big one, right? If you know how to invest, having your money work for you is going to be so important during a recession. Now, your investments may not be performing the best during a recession, but depending on how you invest, and if you're smart and you know how to reallocate your portfolio, you will know that there are actually certain industries that perform really good in a recession, right? So, for example, consumer goods, dollar stores, things like that. People flock to dollar stores during a recession, right? Because it's cheap. Right? So they'll switch to shopping at maybe Walmart or a Loblaws or one of those larger grocery stores or Whole Foods, and shifting more to even just grabbing some essentials at a dollar store, right? So these are things that you have to understand. There are opportunities and pathways to growth even when the economy isn't doing that great. And it can also positively affect your investments depending on how you strategize and how you allocate your different type of investment portfolios. But you won't know this unless you educate yourself, right? So if you are someone who actually wants to learn more about investing and wants to know how you can even invest better during a recession, you definitely want to check out my Confident Investor Playbook. It is a 5-part video series with accompanying workbooks to hold you accountable, to work through and understand how to start investing, how to build a portfolio, how to allocate your portfolio based on your goals, how to invest during a recession, how to invest sustainably and ethically. and to ensure that the money that you are investing into these companies is going towards positive impact, towards the planet, towards people. And it is filled with so many resources that you will have access to for the rest of your life. So any of the offerings that I create, anytime you work with me, all of these experiences, these resources that you get are with you for life. So you're making that one-time investment and you will always have this information on hand. So definitely check out the Confident Investor Playbook, as well as, like I said, the $9 discounted recession-proof PDF guide. And then we also just want to stay informed. So a great way that I stay informed, even outside of just like learning, is in more passive ways, like watching the news, watching YouTube videos, right? The free coaching that you get through YouTube. It is YouTube school, YouTube university, right? Is what they call it. So definitely just approaching everything as if you were a researcher. How can I use this information to my advantage? How can I learn more about this particular topic or subject so that I can be more informed and make better decisions? Then my third and final principle, or the third pillar to my work, which is wealth creation in connection with recession-proofing your finances, is going to be find alternative ways to grow your income, right? So I always say, do not rely on just one income source. I've actually made a video talking about this, where I talk about not relying on one income and looking at alternative income strategies or income sources and just multiple ways to grow your income in more detail. Definitely check out that video if you want to know more. But it's time to start thinking of ways to create additional forms of income, whether that is a side hustle. Think about a skill that you can monetize today. Think about one thing that you're good at apart from family and friends, and how can you turn that into a business or a way to make money? Can you teach this content online and become a coach, right? Or a mentor or a teacher or a content creator, an influencer, finding things that you are good at that you can leverage and turn into an income generating machine. Also, obviously, we want to invest in income generating assets. So if you are in a position to maybe buy a rental property or rent out things that you have, these are opportunities to have your money work for you with assets that you already have or eventually want to have, right? So, buying a home is an asset in itself. You're gonna make money by just having the home, but you can also make extra money on top by renting out a room or renting out the basement or however you want to do it. And then I would say you'd want to reskill. So if you've been thinking about taking like a course to level up your career or learning in like a new in-demand skill, then like now would be the time for that, right? So your skills are an asset that really can't be taken away from you. So that's something that you're really gonna want to consider and focus on in anticipation for a recession or economic downturn. Like I said, all of these effective ways to increase your income, to stay informed, to work on your mindset, all of this can be found in the Recession-Proof PDF guide. So definitely check that out in the description below. And just remember these three key principles, right? 1, shift from reactive to proactive. 2, we're going to want to educate ourselves and stay as informed as possible. And then 3, we're going to find new ways to increase our income. These steps, and no matter what order you do them, is going to help you to get ahead of the curve no matter what happens in the economy. Definitely take a look at the description below for some of the resources and offers I mentioned in the video, the PDF guide, the Confident Investor Playbook. These are key and essential resources for you to have to be one step ahead of the curve and to prepare yourself for the worst possible outcome. Hopefully the worst possible outcome doesn't have to happen anytime soon, but if it does, and it eventually will, you will be better prepared and confident to deal with the situation. So remember, you are more powerful than you think when it comes to your finances. Recessions are not something to fear. They are things to prepare for. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something new, definitely comment below. Share with me what are ways that you've been recession-proofing your money, your lifestyle, so that you can be better prepared and ready for the next coming recession or economic downturn. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Promises of romance, but this song